Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball chat.
Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to BCN Sports Ball Chat Weekly. Yo, Junior. It's that time. Chelsea has a new manager. My name is Benton along with George. Wagwan, family. Junior, I know you're over the moon. Chelsea has a new manager. Wagwan, are you still?
I don't know which moon. Is it the blue moon that rose over them? That's what you think I'm over right now?
Can you not be happy for Chelsea, for Cameroon, for our family?
No.
Come on. Big up Cameroon. Part of the BCN Sports family. Come on. Surely, Junior, you have to be somewhat optimistic about this.
I will always be happy for Cameroon. Always. And anything Cameroon have going on, we're going to support it 100% of the way. Except Chelsea.
Well, I know that was coming. By the way, big up to everyone. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful weekend. Welcome to Ball Chat Weekly. Like I said, my name is Benton. And George, you had a good week, family. Long time. Last time we were here, a lot occurred since Wednesday. How's the family? How's the week?
Everything good on my end, but you're right. A lot has occurred as we get to the end of the season. Is a lot happening quickly. Quickly happening.
Yeah, man. Hey, people, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get to it. Football Roundup Show. This is your weekly football fix. We're going to kick it off with not breaking news. It's old news now because this news cycle moved pretty quickly. Xabi Alonso, not Xavi. Xabi Alonso is the man over at Chelsea. 4 years agreement, Junior. Starting in July of this year. Xabi Alonso, very, very exciting appointment. Chelsea fans are that I know are excited about this appointment. From a neutral perspective, well, we don't know if you're neutral, but from Junior's perspective, your thoughts on the hire with Xabi Alonso?
So we kind of set up that I am an anti-Chelsea and I bit into the bait, but I'm not. I'm really not. I'm anti no team until they're playing Manchester United, and then after the game is done, I am back to being very objective. With that being said, the Xabi hiring, you can approach it from many angles. You can approach it from the question now. Well, you know what? Let me approach it from this angle. It is a what have you done for me lately business. Football is, right? But I think Xabi gets the pass because of what happened at the club that he quote unquote failed at, right? Look at Real Madrid. Real Madrid did not get better when Xabi left. They actually got worse, right? So I think this is a great hiring for Chelsea in terms of the pedigree, in terms of the potential. However, from the coach's perspective, I am questioning if Xabi is making the right choice, or is this like a vindictive kind of emotional kind of a move where at the Real Madrid, my dream job did not work out and I have to fall on my feet quickly instead of giving myself time to kind of just make things settle around him. That's where my question is right now, because if I was to ask you, looking at the potential jobs out there that could become vacant in the next year or two, is Chelsea the best of the lot? That's the question, because I have my eyes on Liverpool. And Xabi could have been probably better fit at Liverpool if he waited another year. Probably could.
I see what you're trying to do here, Junior. I, I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. Leave Aaron's slot alone. We'll get to the slot machine man later on. Regarding my thoughts on it, it's a couple things. First and foremost, kudos to Chelsea. You know, criticism of ownership are we want, and some of these criticisms of the Blue Co group or whatever they're called, Todd Bowley and company, are the criticisms are warranted, yes, because the team is not performing optimally. But and optimally means that that you're not competing for the Premier League title. All right. But you know, kudos to management and ownership for going out and signing the best possible manager available. All right. So Xabi Alonso, I think, is perfectly in line. It should be perfectly in line with the project of Chelsea. Project of Chelsea has been young players, at least according to Todd at the Salt Conference a few years ago. Young players develop young players. But at some point now, Xabi Alonso is not getting young players anymore. Xabi Alonso are getting players that have been playing in the EPL for 2-3 years, some of these players, and even more, some of them. And he brings to that locker room instantly a level of pedigree, success, not just as a player, but also as a manager, and success in an arena and in a space where it was unexpected success. Because he went to the Bundesliga and turned over the big bad Bayern Munich. So no player in this Chelsea locker room right now can doubt Xabi Alonso pedigree. You probably doubted Enzo Maresca. You probably doubted Callum Rossinia's pedigree walk into that locker room. But instantly when Xabi Alonso walks into that locker room, there's that level of, yo, the general, this man has achieved something and he can impart knowledge on him. And let's see if it translates into success and victories, because ultimately that's the biggest test case. But I don't think it's a wait another it's what you call it too quick of a get back on the saddle, so to speak. Regarding Xabi Alonso, he spent 233 days at Real Madrid. And when you spend 233 days at a club, yeah, basically the man will never have you in high regard to begin with. Florentino Perez never rate you. Because if you spent 233 days, or if you were highly regarded at Real Madrid going in by Florentino Perez, you would have weathered and lasted longer than 233 days. You would have lasted the entire season. But I think, and some reports have said this, that because of Xabi Alonso's success, and he's a former Madrid player, you know, there was always this emphasis on trying to get him at Real Madrid. But Florentino Perez wasn't always convinced with his pedigree to coach Real Madrid. And so this is Xabi Alonso as a young coach ability to build his CV. Take Chelsea to the next level. Take this young Chelsea up. And then you can pick and choose whichever team you want to go after that.
Well said. Well said. I agree. And the reports, if the reports are true, remember they did say that this decision was pending. Our Xabi was headstrong and having full access to leadership, full ownership of the roster, right? So it's probably a fair belief or a fair assessment that maybe he's going to get his wish. And if that is the case, we might be in for a huge summer for Chelsea. We might see a bunch of players get shipped out and a bunch of players get shipped in. So we'll see. I agree with what you said. And I'm going to go back to the point that I made. Real Madrid did not get any better after Xabi left. Look at other coaches that have been fired. Their teams get better after they leave. Real Madrid actually got worse. So I don't think Xabi's our aura, our allure got hurt, but I am worried for coaching fatigue for him. I'm worried about that. But we'll see. We'll see.
Nah, I am perfectly fine. You know, also one of the biggest death nail for Xabi Alonso over at Real Madrid is playing people out of position and not achieving success with that team. Not achieving the expected success. Yo, there is no way Fede Valverde, in fact, said it his best. I wasn't born to play a right back. And Xabi Alonso is using him at right back. We have seen Fede Valverde scored some worldies in from midfield. So, yeah, Jude Bellingham's role was also reduced or changed. Maybe not reduced is the right word, but changed under Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid. And it did not translate to Jude Bellingham or Real Madrid achieving anything. So he made these changes at Real Madrid and then never materialized into success. So Florentino Perez said, "Yeah, brother, go on a road."
But look at what that brought Florentino Perez and Real Madrid, more chaos. But with that being said, looking at the current Chelsea squad, looking at what he did at Leverkusen, looking at what he tried to do at Real Madrid, and looking at the current Chelsea squad, we know Caicedo and Enzo is match made in heaven for him. Those are players that he loves. That Enzo, Fernandez, and Caicedo is his fulcrum. That's guaranteed. Cole Palmer is gone, and they are going to dress this up and make it seem as pretty as it could be. But Cole Palmer is gone. Cole Palmer is his Freddie Valverde. Cole Palmer is his Kylian Mbappe. I see it coming from a mile away. Cole Palmer has no place in Xabi Alonso's system. I'm telling you right now, doesn't have any place in that system. So all the Cole Palmer suitors better start lining up and Chelsea better hope and pray he have a good World Cup so they can get some value for him. But I think Cole Palmer is the odd man out. I think he's one of the odd men out.
Perhaps, but
unless he's gonna play right back.
Perhaps, but I will say to you this. By the way, big up BM, big up to the family on the live, big up everyone on the BCN Sports channel live when you're watching on YouTube. Smash the like button, big up. Big up to everyone on the live. Listen, Cole Palmer, if you're on Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, wherever you're watching us, smash that like button, family. Cole Palmer has a summer to convince Xabi Alonso otherwise. You have a preseason. I think it's disrespectful and insulting to Kylian Mbappe to equate Cole Palmer as Xabi Alonso, as Xabi Alonso Achilles heel, so to speak. Is that what you were getting at?
No.
Because there's no way, and sorry, the point I was trying to make is that there's no way Xabi Alonso could have touched or do anything to Kylian Mbappe, i.e. move him on. Whereas Cole Palmer, you said he might be gone.
No, it's not the moving on. It is, all right. So you talked about Xabi Alonso's biggest mistake at Real Madrid was playing players out of position. Fede Valverde went to right back, and it feels like so long ago. But I don't see him killing Mbappe at the 1 million offsides problem.
Yeah, 1 million offside, born in an offside.
Right. So and Xabi insisted. Right? So there was that issue.
Yeah, but Xabi couldn't tell Vinicius Jr. say you're not playing left back and left wing.
I don't know the hierarchy of I put it this way. Whoever was making the decision at Real Madrid, somebody had to tell Kylian Mbappe that you're coming to your dream club, but you're not playing on your dream in the dream position. I don't know if it was Xabi. I don't know if it was Perez. I don't know who was behind that debacle, right? But something happened there. My thing though is Xabi Alonso, and this I can't say it any better. Xabi Alonso went the Ruben Amarin's route with my system, my way. You adapt to me, I do adapt to you. That's what he did at Real Madrid. And I expect him to do the same at Chelsea. If he does that, Cole Palmer don't fit in that system. He just doesn't. You had Florian Wirtz and Cole Palmer. They are polar opposites footballers. Cole Palmer wants the ball at his feet, and he wants the ability to stop the ball, look up, and make decisions. Florian Wirtz at Leverkusen was move the ball, I run into space, move the ball, and we keep it moving. He just doesn't fit. So that's where I was going with it. I'm not comparing him with Mbappe. I'm not doing that. Reece James, better find some doctor we're going to get him healthy to run that right wing and run it consistently. Because those are just the requirements in this Xabi Alonso system. That's why I'm saying a lot going. Chelsea has proven to have the ability to overturn their roster overnight, quickly, right? And I expect that type of summer this summer for them.
With those long, lengthy contracts?
Yes, and that is where where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, if I know you have a player on a 9-year contract, on 9 years contract, why would I allow you to then, if I'm in the market for a striker or any player on Chelsea roster, I am doing you a favor by essentially signing one of your players at a premium when you have them on such a high level lengthy contract.
But then
because you're trying to offload somebody you have given a long contract to.
Right? But then remember how and people, I apologize if I get it wrong. I apologize. But I know I'm going to be in the ballpark. Remember how the player, what do you call it? The fifth pro, the rules work with in England with the percentage. There's a percentage value to how they maintain squads, right? And I think Chelsea eats most of it.
So if the PSR rules?
The PSR rules, yes.
So PSR rules, yeah, okay.
So if Chelsea have a player and it's a 7-year contract, and Chelsea only had 2 out of those 7 years, that's 5 years dead weight that Chelsea going to move on, right? If you take in this player, you are not absorbing that 5 years dead weight. Chelsea still own that on the cap. I might not be wording it properly, but I know I am in the ballpark. So Chelsea will still be on the hook in terms of the rules. But so that's the value that you get for bringing in these players. So there's a trick to the game, because that's the reason why you have the you have the clause where you can sign and not sign and trade. That's in America, but you have a sign and transfer, and you can use that to sweeten the pot. There was something in the article about we need a PFI. Actually.
Well, we're gonna let you read up quickly upon the PSR rules. A long time I know upon that, and I understand what you're saying. Yes, I suspect that Chelsea has some sort of out from some sort of exit strategy with these lengthy contracts, you know, and of course it's amortization, right? You're spreading over the money over a longer period of time, essentially, so you don't have to worry about those dollars annually hitting your financial books, right? Because PSR in terms of loss risk is every 3 years, loss versus gains every 3 years. And if you spread that money over a longer period of time, then that means that you can squirt. Well, we're not going to use the word skirt, but you probably can go around the rules a little bit.
Yeah, there's some way that you
So,
can, because you see, like if you have a player that is homegrown, so that's the reason why, like Garnacho, when Garnacho left to go to Chelsea, that was an easy win for Manchester United because the
yeah,
homegrown
because
player.
you get some developmental profit from that transfer because you've
Right.
developed that player. Yeah. And,
So
you know,
it's called, I'm looking it up. I
it's
don't
a
have the time. We don't have
homegrown, it's called a homegrown clause or
But then
whatever.
there's a squad cost ratio.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the squad cost ratio is a financial regulation that limits Premier League clubs on pitch spending of 85% of their football related revenue and net profit loss from player sales. Clubs have additional headroom available to exceed the 85% threshold under the SCR system, which is explained in more detail. All it is that if you have a player, so like a player at Chelsea that is on a 7-year contract, if that player is have done 5 of that 7 years, that bodes well for Chelsea to move that player on, and they get a big bump in the ratio where now they have room to give even a longer contract to the next. It weird, but all I know is that
It's not weird. It's pretty straightforward to me. But it
well,
all
yeah,
depends upon the contract where you're bringing too. Because it's all about
yes,
those
yes,
hits.
yes,
Because you have 85% can go to squad, and then there's infrastructure development and all these things.
So you
So,
have profitability, you have sustainability. Is a long short way to put a cap. They tried to cap the football teams while giving the big dogs a bigger cap and tell the smaller dogs you have to go work with the cap, which is what happened to Aston
well,
Villa. That's
it's you have to stay in your lane. You have to stay
right,
in a lane.
right,
If
right.
if if Brentford cannot support modeling chick budget, Brentford cannot spend modeling chick money.
Yes.
That's where this profitability and sustainability rules come into play. If
And
Chelsea
it
can
makes sense.
afford modeling chicks, then Chelsea can support modeling chicks and spend modeling chicks money. Now, what happens is that in the 3 years, every 3 years when they do assessment of the books, is that Chelsea better not be cooking the books to support modeling chicks. Chelsea
Yeah.
better be deliberately showing, and this is where those loopholes after 9 years and whatever 7 years contracts, some in experts in the PSR space believe that Chelsea is exploiting a loophole in the contract by supporting the modeling chicks and aka fancy baller by stretching those contracts out and not hitting those PSR debt side of the books in the 3 years, every 3 years when they hit that assessment. So it's not big versus look. You have to be able to know how much you can afford, and I like the rule. Now, granted, there are those who
Now
say
it's tax
I know
brackets.
with them we have a tangent. There are those who say, "Yo, why a man like Man City have 115 rules and rare and violations or accusations
Yeah.
of violations, and still getting away with it?" I mean, these are wealthy people, wealthy club owners. I mean, the bottom line is that if a club cannot afford it and afford to sustain their spending, who then foots the bill if that club is going on? And so PSR is trying to avoid a scenario, a situation where a club is financially in bad shape, players now get paid, and ultimately then the league will have to step in or some other third party have to step in to kind of cover the cost. We saw that in La Liga years ago with Racing Santander. So these new rules are trying to prevent such things from happening. Is it effective? Is it perfect? I don't know.
They try. I think they're trying to avoid another Queens Park Rangers debacle. What happened with Queens Park Rangers? What 14 years ago, and also the COVID season kind of opened their eyes I remember
Yeah.
when ball chat, we were live doing ball chat all through COVID years, through the COVID year. And when they came back, we couldn't understand how teams were saying, "Yo, if we don't open the stands, the football club is no more." I was like, "What do you mean? Oh, you're so profitable, and you can't sustain one game and no fans?" And it was crazy, and I think that's what spawned all of this.
Yeah, man. But this kind of speak to this idea of trying to be competitive. The way I look at it personally, you have 20 owners or 20 ownership group. All of them have money as it relates to the Premier League. Yo, spend whatever money you want to spend, and whosoever win. That is my just this competitive fairness is kind of you can because look at Leicester City. I mean, Leicester City got penalized while in the championship for things that happened a few years ago, and you know, so look at Leicester City. So, all right, so back to Xabi Alonso. 4 years deal. You mentioned the right back moving up the wing, moving up. I think at the end of the day, Frimpong excel in the Bundesliga, scoring goals. With that Leverkusen team, Alejandro Grimaldo, and Frimpong were excellent for his success, along with Florian Wirtz. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell. But I think this is a good appointment. Probably the best possible manager available. And also, you brought up Liverpool in this conversation earlier on. Miss opportunity here from Liverpool to kind of letting Xabi Alonso or allowing or not trying to lure Xabi Alonso to Anfield.
Time will tell if it's a missed opportunity, because guess what? Both coaches have a title under them CV. Both coaches have been successful in recent memory, and both coaches have also failed.
One man builds thing, and the other man I live off a next man name.
Either way, though,
either way, we attack.
Either way, both coaches' CV have a title at it, and both coaches' CV also have a failed year. So Liverpool.
What kind of failed year?
This year is a failed year for Xabi. He failed at Real Madrid in recent memory. In his recent memory, Xabi was not successful at Real Madrid this year. In recent memory, Arne Slot has not been successful at Liverpool. They're both identical. I'll granted though. Granted, Xabi built something that toppled that giant. Arne Slot built his career to get an opportunity to take a team that have the ability to topple a giant, and he toppled the giant.
So Xabi Alonso never built his career to get a team to topple a giant.
Oh no, I reworded. I worded it that way for a purpose. Xabi Alonso built a team to topple the giant. Arne Slot did not build a team to topple the giant, but he built a CV that gave him the opportunity to take a team that which is a giant in itself, to be honest, but take that team to topple another big dog, and they did. So I'm just drawing parallels to show, if you are Liverpool, or you are Liverpool brass, you're sitting there saying to yourself, Arne Slot versus Xabi Alonso. Arne Slot has proven that he can be successful in EPL by already winning the title. Xabi Alonso is one of our own, and he's a hipster coach, hot commodity coach. Make a decision. And they clearly went with Slot. They clearly did not, they're not the upset the apple cart kind of leadership. They're not going to make that knee-jerk. It would have been a knee-jerk reaction. And I'm sitting here, I'm telling you right now, if Liverpool was to make the move and fire Arne Slot and go full bore for Xabi Alonso, I would sit here telling you that Liverpool is in crisis. I would sit here telling you that Liverpool right now is in a funk, and the future is uncertain. So Liverpool stuck with continuity versus Big Bang. Because there's no telling what Xabi Alonso is going to be in the EPL. There's no telling. We saw the Ruben Amorim experiment and what happened there. And Xabi Alonso is a Ruben 2.0 in some aspect.
Don't insult Xabi
He
Alonso.
is. He is.
He's
He
not
is.
a Ruben 2.0, brother.
All right.
He's not a Ruben 2.0.
We will revisit this next year.
We have to say big up Kofi Paul. Kofi Paul say right Junior Cole gone. We could pivot right to Liverpool but let's just go to the FA Cup. Before we remind me when we get over to Liverpool to circle back to Arne Slot and Xabi Alonso. But Chelsea fans buying a shirt, take out the shirt out of the back of the drawer. Come on, Lee, may I look on you. You can take your shirt back out and wear it. Xabi Alonso to take the role on July 1st, 2026. All right, football on the field now, Junior. Heading over to the FA Cup. Speaking of Chelsea, I guess Xabi Alonso did watch his team yesterday. His new team suffered a 1-0 defeat to Man City. Junior, what a boring football game. Football family, I was gonna do a watch along. I totally forgot the game was at 10 a.m.
And aren't you happy you
And
did
I
that?
thought it was at 12:30, and I'm glad I didn't do a watch along. Goal
Yo,
from Antoine Semenyo in the 71st minute.
I think Pep, in a weird way, I think Pep is scared of the FA Cup.
Scared of
I
what?
think the FA Cup. I think the FA Cup are not scared. Let me rephrase it. I think Pep respects the allure of the FA Cup, because if there's one coach, one great coach in history of football that we can point to, I cannot think of another coach I can point to that coach should understand what the allure of the FA Cup is globally. And that's Pep Guardiola. If I was to tell you in a FA Cup final, Man City versus Crystal Palace, who you got winning? Everybody and their mother going bet on Man City, but have some fear because of the FA Cup, because that's just what the FA Cup is. A couple of years ago when they played Manchester United, who you think that was supposed to win that game? Common sense with Ten Hag. Common sense would say Man City got butter bruise that bug Manchester United team that didn't even have a striker. And they played a false nine of Kobe Mainoo would destroy them. I think Pep used that history to be so cautionary yesterday. It was so it was cautious in a Pep Guardiola kind of way. It wasn't the prettiest a game. It was very ad hoc, and you would think Chelsea would be the team that come out and try to be ad hoc and try to be non-traditional and go at Man City. No, it was the other way around. And some might say this is the pressure of trying to win the double and having Arsenal in the back of their mind. I don't think so. I think Man City and Pep Guardiola were hyper focused on that game yesterday and said, we are not losing this game. And that was the outcome in the game. You know who would be proud? Who would be proud of Pep Guardiola's approach to the game yesterday? Cholo. That Cholo this year. 5 years ago, Cholo
And
would
what
say.
specifically did why Cholo would be proud, Junior?
It's just I don't know if Man City, to me, they were just pragmatic. You still had the Pep Guardiola vibe to the team and to the output. But they were just a pragmatic bunch yesterday. They just said, look, Chelsea, we just not gonna lose. We'll win. I think that'll be an ugly win. We'll take the ugly win.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it a different way. Ugly ball game. I think this is kind of I don't know if Pep might be superstitious. We know he lost the Champions League against Chelsea, and he tinkered in that Champions League final against Chelsea. Strangely enough, never start a true CDM in that game. Now, and yesterday he also went into this game with a bit of tinkering. Marmoush essentially slotting into a 10 role behind Holland. And so I think that is Pep Guardiola. Years of watching him coach from Barcelona, he likes to throw the opponent off. At least he's thinking what the opponent will do and try to see, okay, let me throw kind of an ace in the hole, so to speak. And the Marmouche into the 10 slot did not work. It did not link up well. There was nobody to link up the play. Ball get swing wide to Doku, ball over to Semenyo. The ball get turned back. And I thought that Chelsea in the first half was a little bit perplexed by. No, not a little bit perplexed. I was a little bit surprised that Chelsea was a little bit standoffish. Yeah, I think McFarlane set up Chelsea was like, try to beat them on the counter. We know Man City is vulnerable on the counter. But you don't beat Man City on a counter with Joao Pedro. He had Cucurella playing high up the field. I'm like, yo, brother, come on. Why is Cucurella almost deployed in some sort of left wing position? So you have Cucurella, Reece James at midfield. You have about 1 million defenders on Chelsea team and a few attackers. And I think that was the approach from Chelsea going into the game. And then they recognized in the first half, I realized, like, look, we can have a go at these guys. These guys are not necessarily what we as gun blazing as we thought they would be. And so it's a mixture of both, and rightfully so. Pep did make some adjustments. He hooked Marmouche. I think he took him off at halftime and said, yo, it don't work. And then put on Ryan Cherokee. And Ryan Cherokee, as frustrating as a footballer he is, he's probably the only thing that's closest to give them that 10 sort of role. Tijani Reinders can do something, might be in a similar boat sometimes, but Ryan Cherokee can be a special player. It's just a Ryan Cherokee can be an idler, just an idle baller. And for non-Jamaicans, the idle baller is somebody who prefers to nutmeg, prefers to salad, prefers to pile than make the pass, or just juggle a ball around an opponent. And I think Pep is weary of his behavior with those things, because he could turn over the ball anytime and leave them vulnerable.
Yeah.
So that's it. I mean, kudos to Antoine Semenyo. He scored a beautiful goal. A beautiful goal. I mean, the build-up player Ryan Cherokee rolled that ball right. If Semenyo went for it, he would have been offside, but he pulled off. And the Viking, aka Erling Haaland, aka the Viking, cut it across, and Semenyo flipped the ball back into the back of the net. Par for the course. I mean, Chelsea did compete, but it's just it's a boring BBC.
But what do you think about the penalty calls?
What penalty?
The two tackles, the two that comes to mind. Well, one of them was outside the box, went into the box.
The one where the brother, where Malcolm and the claim say it was a penalty. That was not penalty. Yeah. Was it Joao Pedro?
I think it was Joao Pedro, yeah.
Yeah, he threw himself to the ground. I'm sick and tired of these footballers nowadays. They rather throw themselves to the ground and actually keep the attack going. There was an argument about, say, whether the player held his hand. I will say, and this is something that is being quite evident with Man City throughout the season, in the Premier League, FA Cup, wherever, Champions League, Kosanov as fast as he is vulnerable at the back.
Yes.
Mark Guehi, good as he wants to be, is also vulnerable at the back. So, and vulnerable in the sense that when they are running towards their goal, is one of the most difficult things as any defender have to deal with. Running towards the goal and try to stop somebody bearing down on you while you're in a sprint. And I don't know if Kasanov is really a very good one-on-one defender. You know, if you look back to the old Virgil van Dijk days, when Virgil van Dijk had defend, a man a run at him, he can stand up, look him in the eye and say, you will not pass, and take the ball off of him without fouling him. I'm not sure if young Kasanov has those skill sets. And I think for Man City, that's something that they will have to deal with. Ruben Diaz did it for a while for them, but they are vulnerable when people are running at them.
Yeah. Yeah, but then that kind of goes to the Rodri effect, or the lack of Rodri effect, the real Rodri.
Yeah, so he protects him, but he's returned from an injury, and we saw last year, you know, probably they could have won a few more games when he was with him, and we saw like this season again when he's out, how they start to pretty much get more exposed at the back, and you know. But also that's an important thing is that will Rodri be there next season? That remains to be seen. Because if Jose Mourinho does get appointed, and all reports is that he will get appointed at Real Madrid, you know, basically Jose Mourinho has circled Rodri, according to multiple reports, as one of his big requests, one of the players that he wants. And Florentino Perez in an interview, I think earlier this week, said that, look, he didn't spoke about Jose Mourinho directly. He wants to have an election and to really let the members of the Real Madrid board that, yo, you guys need to back me. And then equally, he said that there are players will be coming. So if Jose Mourinho gets signed at Real Madrid, which we expect him to, I get hired at Real Madrid, which we expect him to, then subsequently we expect, at least I expect, Jose Mourinho and Real Madrid to have a go at Rodri. And Pep has spoken about this. Pep says, you know, funny enough, Pep said, like Liam Rosinha, this was a while ago, when Enzo Fernandez got suspended for saying that he won't be at Chelsea next year. Pep said basically, I am not like Liam Rosinha, who's going to bench or ban a man or suspend a man because he wants to leave the club or he has other aspirations. If I know Rodri has other aspirations and he might not be here, I'm not going to suspend him. I'm going to play ball because happy players perform better.
And big up, yeah, you're right. And big up Gertrude Jackson, big up Gertrude, saying, yo guys, I cannot believe that Alonso has reportedly agreed to the Chelsea job. Silly decision, in my opinion. Also saying Ryan Cherky frustrating. No way, he's special, man. Yeah, that's a Ryan Cherky. Enigma for you. Yeah, there's no middle ground for Ryan Cherky. But big up Gertrude. Big up every time. Do remember, hit a like and leave a subscribe if you like the content, because we talk football all the time. But yeah, go ahead, Benton.
Yeah, man, big up to everyone. All right, moving away from the FA Cup. So that's the third FA Cup title for Pep. Junior, I want to ask you again, is Pep gone this season at Man City?
If you were to ask me this 3 months ago, I would say yes, of course. 2 months ago, I said absolutely. A month ago, I said 100%. You ask me this today, with the signing of Xabi Alonso to Chelsea, with Michael Carrick becoming official somewhat, and most importantly, with Arteta more likely winning the Premier League, I think these are the things that fuel Pep to try another year. I think Pep Guardiola would especially what you just talked about with his tinkering, with his overcoaching. You didn't say overcoaching, but
but that's the accurate assessment.
Right. So with his overcoaching, I think he sits down and takes pride in competition. I think it takes pride in not comparing but measuring himself up to other coaches, especially hipster coaches. And I think these kind of movements in the Premier League, coming off a World Cup year, Man City needing some form of a rebuild, Liverpool probably going to have a rebuild. I think these factors kind of add to Pep Guardiola saying, you know what? Let me see how I match up again with this thing next year. Because he's at the top of the hill. And if he was to leave today, he's leaving at the top. And if somebody was to say that's the best coach ever, I will not argue that fact. And he knows that. But the spirit of competition drives him, I believe. And I think he has that space in him where I want to see how I measure up against these guys. And maybe he want to go up against Arteta again. Now, if Arsenal wets the bed and Man City lifts the title next week, then he's gone. Him done. If Pep wins the Premier League this year and gets a double, he's gone. Done.
More to come on that one. Let's see. By the way, big up to those on the live. Smash the like button, family. Smash the like button. Let's step over to the English Premier League now and recap some of the results from this weekend's EPL action. But before we head over there, Junior, Michael Carrick, Manchester United, it's official.
It is?
Multiple outlets are reporting that it's official. Michael Carrick, BBC, is reporting that the agreement is in place. I haven't seen it from the Man United page yet, but is it?
No, it's not official yet. 'Cause even in the post match, no, the post match announcement today when the last home game and they did the Casemiro celebration and then the coach speak at the last time to the fans. He did not say next year. He didn't hint towards he'll be back. He just said he loved what he saw the last couple of months. He loved when the fans are there, and hopefully they can enjoy it more in the months to come. So he did not. And I think he did it on purpose. He did not officially announce that he was going to be back, because I think there are still some things that need to be ironed out. And I think looking at Michael Carrick is such a guarded person, a guarded personality. It's hard for you to really tell what he's thinking, but you can know what he's thinking by the way he's coaching. And there's some of the decisions that he make with personnel and yada yada yada. I think he has a personnel problem at Manchester United, and I think he wants some guarantees before he signs that contract. I think he needs to offload some players, and I think he has made that abundantly clear, and he wants that guarantee before officially signing. I have no insider knowledge. I'm not going off no reporting. It's just what my eyes and ears tell me.
All right, I don't know about your ears, but the eyes probably. Samuel Mockbell is reporting on the BBC, reporting that the United have reached an agreement with Carrick to become the club's permanent head coach. Formal process of exchanging contracts is now underway, with an announcement expected inside 48 hours. So, all right, watch the space. All right, let's go over to the English Premier League. We'll update football fans accordingly. Let's get to the games on the field. In the EPL this weekend's action, Junior, Newcastle defeated West Ham 3-1. And why we start here at this particular game, we start in basically at the relegation end of the table. Can we call it? Can we just said go home, West Ham? This is enough.
Yeah, you can, but Tottenham have to do their part first.
So Tottenham needs a point from the remaining two games. Chelsea on Tuesday and the last match day against Everton.
And they just and you see the thing is the door is still, and this is probably the most frustrating thing for the West Ham fans. As much as it looks bleak, the door is still open. It's still
But you
cracked.
don't want the door open. Lock it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And I think West Ham fans, they know the writing is on the wall. They see this coming. They know. They know from, I would say, from VAR overturned that goal against Arsenal. They knew. They knew
But
it.
man, they know they were gonna get relegated from way before that. They,
No. Because remember, Tottenham still have been wetting the bed.
but
So
we said here recently you cannot stay in the league if you can't win a game, and
that's
West Ham is not winning football games. In
I
fact,
agree 100. I agree 100%. 100%. I agree with that. But as a West Ham fan, remember now, we're talking logic. We're being logical in our conversation. But a fanatic, you can't spell fanatic without fan. So the fans are not going to be logical. They are going to be mathematical. And they mathematically still have a chance. It is on Tottenham to remove that mathematic opportunity. Get a draw against Chelsea and get it over with. Get it over with.
West Ham since April 10th, they defeated Wolves 4-0 on April 10th, drew 0-0 with Palace April 20th, defeated Everton 2-1 April 20, the 25th of April, suffered a 3-0 defeat to West Ham, to Brentford on May 2nd, the Arsenal defeat on May 10th, and today 3-1 defeat. So the last 3 games, no points, nada, zilch, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's over for them. They're done. But I feel it. I feel it for them.
I don't feel it for them. I don't feel. I like Nuno, but I don't feel it for them. Because it's not like these things are. It's not accidental. Remember a few years ago, a West Ham fan ran into the middle of the field and planted a flag.
Mm-hmm.
So the fans of West Ham Football Club are well aware that at some point they're going to have to go meet their maker. And the maker is their championship.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
They're going to have to make themselves again. They have to go back down to the championship. Last time they were in the championship was 15, 16 years ago. And they have to rebuild themselves again.
And I don't think they're not built for a quick return.
Well,
they're not built. That squad is not built for a quick return. And I don't think Nuno will be there next year. So they need to hit the ground running.
This struck me at the post-match press conference. Nuno was asked whether he got his team selection wrong. He started with back 4, almost like a back 5, and then made some changes to a back 3. He says, quote, maybe we prepared badly, question mark. It sounds like he asked a question. He said, maybe we prepared badly. Maybe we made mistakes. We have to look. If you look at the game, then probably yes, end quote. And I want to repeat this again, Junior. He was asked whether he got his team selection wrong. He says, maybe we prepared badly. Maybe we made mistakes. We have to look. If you look at the game, then probably yes, end quote. And the reason why I wanted to highlight this, because he said a lot of things. And he's not shirking the responsibilities. Definitely not realizing his fault in this and the frustration. Nuno was appointed the manager of this club on September 27th of 2025. Today is May 17, 2026, and Nuno does not have confidence in a formation to go win a football game? He doesn't have a formation to win a football game on May 17, 2026. What kind of foolishness is this?
I don't think you're being fair. And the reason why I don't think you're being fair is
All right,
this.
tell me I'm not being fair. Please, enlighten.
Couple of years ago, when Leeds was on their way down, Marcelo Bielsa had a famous interview, and we spoke about it at the show. And they talked about, remember we were highlighting how Leeds is heavy metal, not heavy metal. Sorry, I'm sorry, Jurgen Klopp. But Leeds was high energy, running at your football team, and they were shifting goals, right? And when it was clear they were going down, and they asked Bielsa the same question. Do you have your system right? Is the system right? Do you need to change the system? I remember Bielsa famously said, I'm going to say famously said, because I put a marker in what he said and when it comes to coaching and what coaches go through at this part of the season. And I'm going to paraphrase, but if he was to change his system, you, the same reporter, would criticize him for changing too quick. He has to go down doing it his way or not at all. Coaches in this part of the season, when they are up against the wall, up against that dreaded relegation, I would call it slide, or relegation trapdoor, you get into a position when you get asked questions where you can't play, you can't toe the line, you just have to make your emotions speak. What Nuno said in that post-match interview, in my opinion, in my ears, and I'm going to speak as a coach and as a player. As a coach, let me go by as a coach first. No, let me go as a player first. What I heard from Nuno as a player, he's no longer connected to me. What I heard from Nuno is the ship is going down. It is what it is. We all abandoning ship. I'm taking my lifeboat. I'm gone somewhere else. That's what I heard. As a coach, what I heard Nuno said is, I know my tactics is right. I have full confidence in my ability. I don't have confidence in the players to execute my tactical expectation. That's what he said in that interview. And that's no different from what Bielsa said. And it just comes with the territory of being relegated. You notice, when I hear from Wolves and Burnley, coach,
I just find it baffling. You've been in this role since September 27th. And if it was October, if it was December, yes, I see you, Brethren, me understand. But Brethren, you can't tell me say you're in this role and you need to put out a formation to win a football game, and half time you adjust. You still don't know your best, your most optimal formation for get the maximum out of your players.
But
when he started and the team was floating and they were shifting goals left, right, and center, Kyle Walker Peters was getting pushed too high up the field. Mavropanos, the left back, was getting dragged out of position. Then he changed, and then they start winning some games. But then now it's back to the same BS. And I don't even know if it's necessarily a formation change that triggered those victories during the brief little run. I think it's back down to that number 7 when named Somerville, the left winger, who was the live wire in their attacking force. And maybe it's coincided with both. But you can't tell me today, brother, you are supposed to win a football game. For the last few weeks, you need to win a football game. And you don't know which formation you can rely on to say it'll give you the best chance to win a football game.
No, but it's not fair. You're not being fair.
How you not being fair? What is your job?
But your job is to try to win a game. Your job is not to win.
All
And that's
right,
where
fair enough. Your
and that
job
is
is not
where
to win.
your
Weird.
job is not to win. A coach's job is not to win. A
Your
coach's
job is to
job
try to win a
is to
football game.
try to win.
All right. So in
He's
that
being
vein,
asked, right, but he's being asked the question like he was expected to win.
all right. So
You
then my question to you, forget the question, forget the post-match press conference. My
okay?
question in this job to win. Your job is to try to win a football game. Your course. These are your words, you know. In your attempt, are you're trying to win a football game. You don't have the best formation as a coach to give you the chance to try to win a football game.
But it's not the best formation because it failed. That's hindsight. If
You're
you
gonna
ask
man
him,
go around the thing, bro. You as a coach,
I'm not. No,
you
no,
as
I'm
a
not
coach,
going
don't
around it.
you have when you are roll out your team? Don't you have? You say, yo, this formation, this player, this system, these players in these positions give me the best chance to win a game. You don't have that?
Yes.
Okay, but Nuna doesn't.
No, no. Don't let. All right, I get. Yes, based on what he said, fine. However, ask the question before the game.
Yeah,
If
but Nuna
Nuno
not gonna
come
say
to,
that before the game.
so if he don't, no. But you get my point though, right?
Yeah,
Ask
I
a question
understand your
before the
point.
game. Do you know your best formation that gives you the best chance to win? Yes, that's what we're going to do. After the game, you lose. Did you play? Do you know your best formation that could have given you the? You know what? Nuno is actually being nice. He could have, which he technically he did say this. I know the formation that give me a chance to beat Newcastle. It never worked today. So maybe we did something wrong
But you
today.
changed the formation during the middle of the
Because it
BBC
wasn't
game.
working. It wasn't working.
So, all right. So, in the middle of the BBC game, your best formation to win a game, you say, all right, family, all right. Nothing to see here. Let's go ahead and change this formation because it doesn't give us. This is your best formation. You say you
You're
believe to
down,
give you the chance of winning. Up.
you're down 2-0 after 20 minutes.
So
It's
then,
not working.
so this is your best formation to win a game, and you have given ship 2 goals down, 2 goals, and
Yes.
you have been shipping goals throughout this last run.
But you're trying to
And
win.
you are
You're not-
saying to me that this is still your best formation to try to win a game?
But this is, me hear you. But look, listen. I am not Nuno's cousin. I'm nephew. I'm
Get
brother.
out
So
the
I'm not
belt
trying to
and
defend.
beat Nuno.
You can't beat Nuno. You have to beat everybody all in. If no, all right. Nuno prior to West Ham. Well, I mean, actually, you know what? Yeah, but come back and beat Nuno. I was going to
All
say,
right. And
I was
Victor
going to say
Pereira.
Nuno. Eh?
Victor Pereira, who you spoke highly about last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, the manager of at Forest.
Yeah.
You said, Brethren, look how this money had just come in and change around Forest and have Forest free flowing and I beat teams. No.
It worked.
And all right, so we can say, well, maybe Forest has a better squad.
No, it's just lucky. His system worked.
But it seems like Victor Pereira has figured out the formation that can get him to win football games.
Right? No, yes. No, does that mean next year Forest going to be in the top 6?
No, but we don't really. But Forest don't need to worry about next year, and West Ham don't need to worry about next year. West Ham needs to worry about trying to win games. No, for stay in the Premier League.
That's true.
BM says Tottenham only needs a point from 2 games. As I predicted, they will survive. You know what? You think Tottenham can? But even if Tottenham lose both games, I don't even know if West Ham will win another game. I get a
All
point.
all West Ham need to do, and look, at this point, West Ham can't really worry about anything. Just beat Leeds. You're hosting Leeds. At the very least, Benton. If I'm Nuno, I'm like, you know what? F the formation, F the best level, F the sentiment, F the feeling, F everything. Let's just make the fans go home happy Sunday. All we have to do is beat Leeds. And whatever happens after that happens. Let's just make the fans go home happy. That's all. Just beat Leeds.
All right, they're playing at home, so that should give. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody run on the field and plant the next flag on Sunday. I will not be surprised if someone runs on the field and plant a flag.
And for those, remember, Tottenham travels to Chelsea next.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
And Tuesday, and
Yeah.
then they host Everton.
Yep.
Final day.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Nuno, for the West Ham fans, the fans of the Irons, as they're called, Nuno says, I apologize to our fans for our performance. Boy, Nuno, you should apologize from about January, Virgin. This apology too late.
Yeah.
In fact, Nuno should be apologizing from about last December. Let's see what happens with West Ham, but it looks like they're pretty much cooked. Continuing our EPL roundup, other major news that came out of the EPL this weekend before we look at the table and the scores and other scores, Junior. I want to touch this thing over at Liverpool. Mohamed Salah decided to take it upon himself after the 4-2 defeat. Aston Villa defeated Liverpool 4-2 to secure Champions League spot. Goals from Morgan Rogers, Ali Watkins with 2, John McGinn, Liet Van Dijk with 2 goals for Liverpool. Brace, maybe this is the year that Van Dijk has scored most goals. It's probably his highest score in Premier League year. I need to check this.
But his goal difference is still astronomically terrible.
All right.
I had to do it.
Look at you.
I had to do it. I had to
Look
do it.
at you.
I had to do it.
You had to do it. Let's look at the statement by Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah said Liverpool needs to get back to heavy metal football, Junior. Did anyone tell Mohamed Salah that the heavy metal man gone?
That's how you interpret that, Benton?
I mean, I'm gonna get this comment up. I want to go ahead, Junior. Let me try to get the exact.
That's how
words.
you interpret it, Benton?
And how do you interpret it? Please fill me in.
And if
All right.
If Chelsea,
before you go ahead and say what you want to say, let me just run through this Mohamed Salah statement real quickly, because this is his last season and he's saying a lot. He says, quote, I have witnessed this club go from doubters to believers, and from believers to champions. It took hard work, and I always did everything I could to help the club get there. Nothing makes me prouder than that. Us crumbling to yet another defeat this season was very painful and not what our fans deserve. I want to see Liverpool go back to being the heavy metal attacking team that our opponents fear, and back to being a team that wins trophies. That is the football I know how to play, and that is the identity that needs to be recovered and kept for good. It cannot be negotiable, and everyone that joins this club should adopt it. Winning some games here and there is not what Liverpool should be about. All teams win games. Liverpool will always be a club that means a great deal to me and to my family. I want to see it succeed for long after I have moved on. As I've always said, qualifying to next season Champions League is the bare minimum, and I will do everything I can to make that happen. And he didn't say love Mohammed, but we know he loves that club. There you go, Junior.
Can I speak now, sir? What Mohamed Salah did is, in essence, told the Liverpool faithful. Remember, we always said it. He wants to get the grandiose rollout of the red carpet while he's leaving, right? So what he told the Liverpool faithful is, let's have a parade. That press card, that speech, I'm gonna call it a speech, is his parade swan song that he's leaving. And he's telling the Liverpool, the Anfield faithful, as y'all sing, you'll never walk alone. I want everybody to line up on the street as I get my bus and I pack my bus with my things and my family. And while I'm on my way out, hold on 1 second there, because I want the team to line up right here, sir. But while I'm leaving, Frimpong, who that? Florian Wirtz, that a ballad brother around here, sir. Honest Slot, step to the left a little bit, please. And the light that you're seeing, don't worry. It's not the light at the end of the tunnel. It is just the cameraman with the spotlight on while he's taking video of me leaving. But it's really the bus that he's driving in. And he's driving that bus over Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, and Honest Slot. The only thing that saved Isaac is the surgery table. That's the only thing that saved Isaac. But that was a complete write-off of Honest Slot, Florian Wirtz, and Frimpong. It's a complete write-off to this season. And on his way out, that's a call to action for the Liverpool faithful to move on from Honest Slot. And I was going to say, if Xabi Alonso was announced last week, he probably would have never made that speech. I am going to say that was a way for him to call for Liverpool to go get Xabi Alonso. I am going to be that guy.
Get somebody. It's a call
to action. Get Xabi Alonso.
It's a call to action. It's a bold statement, Junior. It's a very bold statement from a player that is very, very passionate about Liverpool and his club.
Well, what's that going to do?
We know Mohamed Salah is moving on.
Yes.
We know he's moving on. And he could have just said, you know what? I don't care no more. I don't care. It's not my business. I am packing up my bungle and I'm going on to the sunset. Good luck, Liverpool. Good luck, Anfield. Good luck to you all. But no, Mohamed Salah took it upon himself to demand change, demand improvements in Liverpool. I mean, you know what? Ball of the year to Mohamed Salah. Big up yourself, Bridget. Big up yourself, because it's akin to Cristiano Ronaldo saying that the dishwasher now work over this and that now work over. They're highlighting major issues with these clubs. And Mohamed Salah is saying, us crumbling to yet another defeat this season was very painful and not what our fans deserve. The Liverpool fans, in fact, look at BCN Sports Ball Chat Weekly. Who used to be present day in and day out? At 5 p.m., Liverpool fans, ballers and bugs running out. We don't see Liverpool fans no more. Liverpool fans have disappeared and our viewership has gone down because of onslaught. Because of onslaught, we have lost subscribers and viewers. Because Liverpool fans used to be running in when ball chat kick off. So I want Slot gone too. I want him out. I want him gone so ball chat can continue to grow, because we know Liverpool fans used to, on Facebook, Liverpool fans are running. Them win a game, boom, boom. Machine a rinse. Liverpool fans, in fact, if we're late at 5:01 p.m. on a Sunday, Liverpool fans already leaving messages in the chat saying, "Where is ball shot?" They have their ballers and bugs because they were winning football games. I want Onslaught gone. And Mohamed Salah is doing it for us. So I think we all should join Mohamed Salah and move Onslaught on. Liverpool fans deserve better, man.
Somewhere right now, Tyrone saying, "Thank you, Poopa, Jesus, Dalton." Dalton have him head up a while ago, like, yo. Marco almost crashing car. Marco, drive safe.
But the important thing, he says, this is non-negotiable. He's like, this is not negotiable. You can't negotiate with this. It's like he's saying that the brass at Liverpool are negotiating with Liverpool's future and success. But our success and winning football games is non-negotiable. I want you, man.
That it is such a dangerous. Now, let me ask you this. Your artist slot. Your last home game is this Sunday for the season, and I think they play Brentford, I believe. Whoever they play, but they play at home. It's your last home game, and let's not make any bones about it. They play Brentford, and Brentford is well, they've not a chance. Well, yeah, Liverpool basically, yeah, Liverpool have top 5, so they're the Champions League. Well, actually, no, because Bournemouth is still within a shout. So based on what happened with the Bournemouth game, Bournemouth plays Man City. If Bournemouth gets something against Man City, then that gives the last game something to play for. Are you benching Mohamed Salah against Brentford? The last game for insubordination. Think about that. This is club legend Mohamed Salah. Let's not play with the words. He completely eviscerated Arne Slot in the press. 7 days before the last home game. You haven't wrapped up Champions League as yet. More likely you will. You know what? Let's make it more interesting. Man City will beat Bournemouth. So that means Liverpool guaranteed Champions League next year. There's no question about it now. Last game of the season. Are you starting Mohamed Salah? Are you going to bench him? And if you bench, are you going to give him a curtain call during the game? And are you going to be the first one to as he walks off the field, to shake his hand and give him a hug? You'll be on the slot mentor after this. I'm going to tell you this. If I am on the slot, Mohamed Salah have a strained hamstring.
No, if I'm slot, I am playing him.
You're crazy.
I am playing him because you know what, Junior? In life, sometimes you have to read the room. Read the room. Junior, this is one of the legendary Liverpool players. The fans at Anfield love him. You got booed by the same fans a few weeks ago and you said, oh, we can win back the fans next week. Do you want them boo you more?
No. Boo me for the thing of the bad. Bad.
No. Mohamed Salah, finish your season. Player, do your curtain call. I will shake your hand, brethren. When asked about the statement by Mohamed Salah, I would say, I don't pay attention to the press. I don't read newspapers. I just focus on what's going on in the field of play. I don't focus on what my players say off the field. I don't focus on those things.
Okay, Mbappe.
That is what I'm doing. I'm reading the room. I think I can see use a carry feelings coach, you know.
Listen, And it's so funny. Yesterday we had a game, and big up to the team. Trying girls, young girls, trying. For all those who know, I coach basketball. I coach youth basketball. I know I'm coaching my daughter team. And they played up yesterday. They're mostly fifth graders, they played sixth graders, seventh graders. Not going to call it the names, because I know some of them start watching the show now and everything, but I gave them a joke, and one of the parents, there was something that happened after the game, and we were talking about discipline and how sports, organized sports, and coaching family play a role in helping to discipline, especially children. And coaches are the probably one of the next closest thing to the parental model for a child growing up, and in terms of instilling discipline. And we have ways to instill discipline without physically harming the kids, but we will we will create some events. And I tell the parents, say yes. And as these kids grow, and as these girls grow, and if I'm fortunate enough to coach them, they might experience one of those practices where they come to practice, and there's a garbage pan sitting right there at the doorway. It's a big garbage pan, and there's no basketballs in the gym. And it's going to be, I'm going to make sure everybody vomit in that garbage pan before we leave. We're going to learn discipline. And there might be some event that happened that forced me to instill discipline in the children. So yes, I am a carry feelings coach, because if it's my team, it's my way. There's no compromise to my authority. No, it is on me as the coach, like I said, to read the room. So if I have a player, I have some players I have to grab by the throat. I have some players I have to cuddle and treat with kids' gloves. And when the people outside the environment so can say, why am I showing favoritism to this and why am I so hard on that? I'm going to say, because I am the coach, I'm doing it my way. Honest slot need to establish that, especially going into next year. Especially going into next year. So if I was honest, lad, have a heart-to-heart conversation I've already had a heart-to-heart conversation with Mohamed Salah. And we're going to sit down and we're going to say, listen, man, you can't do that in public. So we're going to go out and fix it. You don't like me don't like you. It is what it is. But publicly, this is my team. I am the coach. What I say, go.
You are carry
And
feelings, coach.
that's not carry feelings. That's a big man thing, brother. Big man thing, brother. You're not playing.
Read
You're
the
not
room,
playing
coach.
Sunday.
Read the room.
You're not playing Sunday until you retract the statement, because you're not setting me up. When you
Read the
go
room,
next year,
coach.
Mohamed Salah, me have to go deal with Isaac looking at me and saying, well, heavy metal football probably will have give me better chances to score. No, 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 no. It's my team, my way.
Read the room.
Read which room?
Steven Gerrard, of course, former Liverpool great, said, quote Mohamed Salah, Mo Salah doesn't really speak much, and he doesn't tweet, and he certainly doesn't like that. He doesn't tweet, and he certainly doesn't tweet like that. I think that he's sending a message to the outside that things in that Liverpool dressing room are not right. The identity is gone, and it's really hurting him to see it in front of his own eyes. That's what Steven Gerrard said, former Liverpool. Players like the statement by Mohamed Salah. Junior, reading the room again. Are you getting rid of these players for the game on Sunday? Since you're going to bench Salah if you are a slot. Are you going to bench these players that like the Mohamed Salah statement? I'm going to let you know the players, current Liverpool players that like the statement. According to Liverpool Echo,
make the public know.
Dominic Szoboszlai, Andy Robertson,
bench,
Giovanni Leone,
bench,
Endo, Kirkish, Harvey
bench,
Elliott, they've
bench,
like the statement according to Liverpool. And with Captain Virgil never said nothing.
You know me, I bench Virgil long time. But
How Benton, Prime Minister, big up Prime Minister, how Benton sounding like a Liverpool fan. I don't big up. I don't hear him so passionate about another other side. Junior sounds like Joe Jackson BM says. I'm very passionate about Liverpool Prime Minister because onslaught has affected BCN Sports ball chat numbers. And again, I want to reiterate, on Sundays when Liverpool is flying high, ball chat weekly live with Liverpool. The chat on Facebook up. Now, right now, the chat dead because Liverpool gone. Come on. So onslaught is not good for business. Period.
Hold on.
For ball chat business.
Hold on. Let's pull the curtain back a little bit because if onslaught is bad for business, for all those who don't know, because you have certain people like BM is a part of the show. We can't BM the stats man. But BM is a part of the show. Crime Minister is a part of the show, right? They're family. We're not other fans. They're a family. They just don't have. They just stand up on camera and they're not openly talking, right? But we know, and we're using a software that tells us the amount of people that are currently watching live. So you might be looking and seeing 0 people live or whatever. We have a software. It's because they're not actively tapping into the chat, but that's a whole other argument. We have a software that tells us how many people are watching. And majority of the people that watch our shows on Sundays, when we first started the show, it was high at the start and the highest at the end. It's high at the start because ballers are bugs. When we used to have the ballers are bugs segment, that was high engaging, right? So a lot of people come in for the jokes, but they don't care about the big of the show. Majority of the people though, like right now, is our highest viewership right now during the show. You know why? Because it's a yard baller segment.
Yes, going yard.
So Benton, if onslaught is bad for business, what do you have to say about Rudolph Speed? Let me go off camera, sir.
No, Rudolph Speed is good for business.
What?
Rudolph Speed is good for business.
I know. Look at what people just come out. Look, literally, people just come out for the top.
All right, let's go back to yard ballers. A yard ballers report. Let's head over there. The Jamaican Premier League.
No, sir.
Yard ballers. Rudolph Speed is good for business. Junior Bashi gone home. Bashi and Racing gone at them yard. Now to the Jamaican Premier League. Kicking us off with yard ballers report. The semi-finals are going on currently. Semi-final 1 going on. Semi-finalists. Cavalier versus Montego Bay United. 0-0, 32 minutes in. And the big match later on, Portmore versus Mount Pleasant. First leg action. The Waterhouse, Cavalier dismissed Waterhouse in the quarterfinal, and Bashi and Racing suffered a defeat against Portmore. Junior, what you've seen from the Jamaican Premier League so far?
What I find funny is both legs, both games mirrored each other.
Yeah.
High energy, high
and
impact.
Score update, live score update. Montego Bay United, Junior takes the lead against Cavalier 1-0.
Early one.
Wait, no correction. It's taking off.
What, VAR?
VAR, take it off. Continue on. Live update, it's been removed, so I don't know. Goal called off. So we're gonna check that. Go ahead, Jonah.
I'm looking at something here. It's my first time on the Jamaican Premier League. It's my first time on actually looking at Jamaican Premier League page.
While the game is going on.
We talk about this off here. But yeah, so both games, both legs kind of mirrored each other. And it is ironic how high energy draw first leg, second leg, the better team just kind of separate themselves. And like you said on Wednesday, there's levels to this thing, right? And Portmore showed it against Racing. Now Racing had such a good start to the season. I'm going to blame the longevity of the season kind of caught up to them. Because we kept saying at the start of the season, can they maintain? Can they maintain? While they raced away to the early lead in the league. And Cavalier,
there, Junior.
I keep doing it for Racing. It's like an easy pun. But Cavalier was playing the Champions League at the time. Mount Pleasant was playing the other league at the time. So they had games in the back that they had to make up for. And Racing was playing early and dominating early. And we just saw the season just catch up to them and culminate with what happened on Wednesday night. Unfortunate for them, but they played above expectations. Hats off to them. Now we're into the business end. Now we're into the real top 4 teams. Make we see how it work out. Can Cavalier, remember, this is a businessman,
Yeah, the man who don't care about feelings, care about business.
This is a businessman time of year.
Business time, Rudolph Speed. Come on down.
And how does preparing for the Unity Cup next week affects his preparation now for the is he able to separate the two? We'll see.
Rush 2 is where you can watch the game if you're in Jamaica. I am not seeing it on YouTube, Junior.
No, it's not on YouTube.
So Rush 2 on Blue, So we have go. I guess Pivot probably have a word. Have a word with the man. But regarding this particular game, so Xavier Gilbert over at Mobile United, it was a gamble, I think, with Mobile United brass taking a chance on Xavier. I mean, he did coach Arnett Garden, and whether it was great coaching job or not, but it was a bit of a surprise that Xavier Gilbert made the leap to take over Mobile United. And with that being said, it's a test of both coaches from different perspectives. And Xavier Gilbert, I think, if he can pull one over Cavalier and have one of the recent winners of the EPL, of the Jamaica Premier League, JPL, he can then kind of build his CV even further, right? Because he's able to get over the man who know business about feelings, the businessman. And we know Cavalier is going to be very pragmatic in this part of the season. Defend and try counter. And, because right now it's all about, of course, is winning football games. This is the business part of the season. And so how Xavier Gilbert devise or develop a plan to unlock or break down Cavalier is going to be a key test for me to see how he's growing as a manager. And especially in game adjustments.
He certainly had the opportunity many times to grow.
So
you see what I did there as well?
So 0-0 at the half, at 37 minutes, approaching the end of the first half. First game 1 of this tie. Those are the views of BM. These are the views of BM. BM says Speed paying the refs. The man just won't get lost. So Speed money long like that, BM. No one knows that Speed. By the way, hey, look. If Speed liar, listen, don't send me no hate mail. Send it over ball chat. Or send no legal request over there. So But equally as important though, continuing our roundup or look ahead for Jamaican Premier League. Equally as important though, the game between Mount Pleasant and Portmore. I'm really looking forward to that game. And also equally, same sort of scenario because I'm very excited about Rudolph Austin's coaching ceiling. I'm very excited about his coaching ceiling. And I think he's one of the young bright prospects, a young coach coming through the ranks, and he's growing. Something stood out in that game against Racing. They led that first leg, led comfortably. Racing pegged them back. 3-3 the game ended. And it mirrored the type of games that those two teams had throughout the JPL season.
Mm-hmm.
But what was decisive is that the second leg Racing didn't even come close to equalizing that game. And I think that came down to coaching and recognizing what issues Portmore had late in that first leg. They ended up they won the second leg 2-0. And I watched that game and I said, hey, Racing was pushing forward, but one thing Portmore was doing late in that game, possession. Keep the ball away from them. They can't score if they don't have the ball. And
So you're I think you're identifying Rudolph's Austin test ability to adjust as a coach. Is that where you're going?
I think adjust between games.
Mm-hmm.
The first leg, he saw some issues and he rectified it by the second leg. And I think that paid dividend for him. And I'm very eager to see then can he make another step now against the big mighty Mount Pleasant. Now, granted, I am biased.
And it's former
because
coach.
I am biased, I do have a lot of admiration for Rudolph's growth as a coach. So because of that backdrop, I'm biased. So I want to put that out there. But next week, him might come and him start do a bag of foolishness and I say, yo, Rudolph speak can go. Or Rudolph Austin can go. Rudolph speak can go.
No, yeah, I thought you said Rudolph Speed is great.
Speak can go, but not Rudolph Austin.
So then that begs a question now because coaching and coaching development in Jamaica. Because Rudolph Austin being so young, relatively young as a coach, and showing this ability to master the local league. When and I don't expect you to have a definitive answer, but I think this is a conversation to be had amongst the coaching circle. When we see a coach that has so much potential, when is the time for that coach to move on, or before it gets old quick, and before you will move on to the next top talented coach? When is the time? When is the time for that coach to seek other opportunities and challenges? Or does the JPL offer enough development for a coach to transition into the international level? Because I right now I would peg Rudolph Austin to be a future national team coach, providing he can continue developing. But can JPL offer him that development opportunity, or will it just be a war of perseverance, and can he maintain this high level until him get him opportunity? Is that where we're going?
We can't show the game. I think someone asks, is the game being shown on here anywhere? I'm not seeing the name of the person that asked that question. Can't show the game, family. The game is on Rush TV, Rush Sports, and Blue. But it's not on YouTube as far as I can tell. So if I find anything, or if we find anything throughout, we'll drop it. But
yeah, big up. That's Honcho. Big up Honcho.
Okay, Honcho. Big up yourself. Can't show the game. In fact, we can't show it because we don't have nowhere to show it from.
Yeah.
I think ideally would have many coaches, many young coaches in a group. Like you have different levels ready to take the step. So I don't want burden Rudolph Speed and say, yo, Rudolph Austin. That Rudolph Speed. I don't want burden Rudolph Austin with this thing about coaching Jamaica's men's team tomorrow or next year or 3 years from now. Rudolph Austin, coach the U20 team. Let's see if he can make it to the World Cup. What is Rudolph Austin doing in games? And again, this game against Mount Pleasant, because Mount Pleasant is a big side. Continue to evaluate how he's growing. How is he adjusting in game? All right? Is he left? Now, we know Tapa is not the great coach, but we know Tapa is more experienced, right?
Yeah.
So, Tapa coach at Mount Pleasant. So, going from game 1 to game 2 against Mount Pleasant, what sort of adjustments that Rudolph Austin will make, providing that depending on what is the outcome of the first game, how he approaches the first game against Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
So I don't want burden him about men's national team responsibilities, because there are a lot of good coaches who coach club football in Jamaica who comes to mind. Teacher Hyde. I think Teacher Hyde is one of the brighter coaches that one of the successful coaches. A man might say, yo, me lick you in the head with that boat, right? One of the most successful football minds. With the brother named Clive Duncan, from Cavalier. There are so many coaches.
Excelsior coach.
Yeah, Excelsior Broderick. And then you can even go back to the old school, Jeffrey Maxwell, right? So you have so many coaches who continue to do great work, right? And I don't want to burden them with the poison chalice of Jamaican football head coach. Rudolph Austin, I think right now, Bill. If you can't get Portmore United successful in this Premier League, ooh boy, build your craft, brother. Because, hey, yo, if Rudolph Austin take Portmore up past Mount Pleasant, I bet it's a Mount Pleasant hire him next year and fire Tapa.
You had to go there. You had to. Every year for the last.
I had to go there. Because every year Tapa gets fired.
Every year, yeah.
BM says, I think Tapa has become better at his craft. Yeah, man, he's improving.
Yeah, yes.
Definitely improving. So, we're going to keep an eye approaching the end of the first half in this game. I am very excited about the semifinals. Junior, do you have any team that you're picking here to win this JPL? And do you think Russ play any sort of would be a factor here? Seed 1 and Seed 2, Mobile and Mount Pleasant, respectively.
No.
Mount Pleasant and Mobile had a bye. Sat down, watched ball games last weekend. Whereas,
nope.
Cavalier and them money are play ball.
No, Russ. No, I don't think that will have any impact. No, if flash score is correct, if flash score is correct, Mobile United have had 63% possession of the ball, 6 total shots, 1 on goal, 5 off target, while Cavalier 0 shots. I watch Cavalier still find a way to win this game.
Well, I thought Rudolph Speed did say it's a possession side. Look on his teams and how his team play ball. Did he not say that in an interview? Big up Gunners. Check out Gunners on YouTube. Did he not say that in that Gunners interview?
Yeah, it was a possession ball. Yeah.
So his team. Well, it just shows that Rudolph Speed is versatile, Junior.
Okay. I have no comeback to that. I just going to say okay.
All right. So we keep an eye on this game, and I'm looking forward to watching next game if I can find a channel to watch a game later on.
There's a stuck in a run.
Heading over to the Jamaican Women's Premier League Junior semi-final action in the Jamaican Women's Premier League, as you call it, the Fraser's Whip Invitational.
Yeah, Fraser's Whip Invitational.
Fraser's Whip defeated Real Mona in the first leg after Captain Horace Burrell center 5-0.
Lord of mercy.
And Arnett Gardens defeated Los Perfectas 3-2 in the first leg. You know, so I watched this Fraser. I watched Fraser's Whip, part of the Fraser's Whip Real Mona game. And I don't know how much you have watched Fraser's Whip play. And I get the feeling like I kept asking myself, how is this team dominant? I was not impressed with Fraser's Whip yesterday. I thought, the Fraser's Whip fans are going to tell me about my mother now, and that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I thought for a big team, they really struggled to connect and pass the ball around Real Mona. And I actually will go out on a limb and said, if you give Real Mona one more year with the same group of players, because it seems like the Real Mona squad is very young. If you give Real Mona players one more year with the same coach and the same group of players, an opportunity to be at the same place next year, another year experience under the belt, it could be a different ball game.
The question now, are we going with this conversation now, is about quality of the league. And that's kind of where we're heading towards now. And Cameron have talked about how these young girls or these young ladies are playing a ridiculously amount of games per week, right? So the quality of the game, and which is what you're kind of heading towards, is not going to be present. And that's a league problem. The standard of the league have to grow. So for the current standard of the league, Fraser's Whip is a standard bearer. They just have better players. They just do. Now, I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to say, well, let me know about that. We're not about to go this. So.
No, yes, yeah, they have the better players and they can improve. But there was nothing about Fraser's Whip that let me. I've watched Fraser's Whip also in the CONCACAF tournaments, and while watching the game yesterday, I'm like, so this. No wonder Fraser's Whip get butter bruised in a CONCACAF when they go to CONCACAF tournaments.
Right, there's nothing daunting about them.
There's nothing that stood out in the Fraser's Whip build-up play. It's almost like a team that needs competition. They need to really, really be tested. In fact, it will serve Fraser's Whip well to really have some teams in the JWPL who's going to push them to the envelope. So when they go, if they win, and when they go to CONCACAF Double Championship, CONCACAF Club tournament, they will be more competitive. The Fraser's Whip team yesterday was like, we know so we are going to win. It's like we are struggling for connect passes.
Yeah, but that's the norm, because I've watched them, and that is the norm. And that talks us like, I'm big up to all the coaches. Big up to all the coaches that they put in their work. Please don't take this as disrespect. Don't take this as disrespect. And the ladies out there that are playing, please don't take this as disrespect. I'm just going to say, if I was to be a coach of a JWPL team, looking at the league and watching these games, if I was to get a team, I would take that team, and the first thing I'm doing is fixing fitness.
Yes.
The first thing I'm doing is fixing fitness. I don't care. We're not seeing a ball for a month. And me big and me fat. Me's a big fat brother, tall and fat. So there's nothing about me that says fitness. But one thing me know how to do is get a team fit. And I would get these girls fit. I will get my team fit. And I promise you, the first game we play against Fraser's Whip, my expectation would be a 0-0 draw. Because we're just going to run them into the ground. And this speaks into the quality of the league. And like I said earlier, it's just a fitness thing. Fraser's Whip have the 10 best footballers on the field at the same time. At no other game, no other time, you're going to have a player that is not wearing one of those yellow or pink shirts. That is a part of the best 11 on the field. And that's what Fraser's Whip use. They have the 10 best outfield players playing at one time, while the other team, you might have one or two talented like young baller, but overall they just get overwhelmed. But they're not cohesive. We can talk about expectation of a system, and you can see them trying to do some certain things, but technically it's not there. And again, it's not a knock against the coaches. It's not a knock against the league. The league is developing, but it is what it is. And that's the reason why, like I said, Fraser's Whip, they're going to struggle in the CONCACAF Championship, because they're going to go up against teams that at least have the fitness baseline down. Teams are not running them off the park technically. Have fitness them use and kill Fraser's Whip.
Yeah.
So that's all there for this. And I'm gonna say it again. Take all the teams in the league, get couple Juta bus, and carry them go Hillshire, and we're gonna run. We're gonna run for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I do nothing but running. And we eat some fried fish and festival afterwards, and we're gonna run again. And then we'll drink some soup, and we'll take ourselves, and we'll come back tomorrow. We'll do some stretching recovery, because I guarantee after 2 days of my fitness training, them are gonna pain up and can't walk. So we'll do some recovery. I will forward back the next day, and we get fitness. And once the fitness get together, the league will get better, and Fraser's will get better competition. Because if they get fitter, the ball going to move better. And part of the reason why the ball, like you said, you can't see why they're so dominant is because they're just not fit. The fitness thing.
And you are just telling Real Mona and other competitors in the league right now how to undo Fraser's Whip.
Yes.
Get your side fit. Get your side fit and run Fraser's Whip into the ground.
Simple.
Yeah.
Get
your side fit and run them into the ground. At minute 90, run them into the ground.
I put 10 players behind the ball, and all 10 players move in unison.
Yeah, man, and counter-attack on them.
And counter-attack, and we run them into the ground. What?
Yeah, man, run them into the ground.
The ball bloody. I'm big up to Chris Allen. I big him up all the time. The best footballer I know, personally. The best footballer I know, hands down. Chris Allen, and he's currently a coach in Florida. And back when I harbored dreams of playing college soccer, college football, and we play ball every weekend, and every day we play pick up football. And Chris can play because I'm saying, oh Chris, if I want to get college fit, how can I get college fit? And the man tell me, say, a simple thing, man. I already have it printed out. We get a paper, because he was working with some other Jamaicans that were trying. Some of them actually went and played. One played at UConn, and I'm working with them, training them.
That's not current preacher our pastor Darren Mattox, is it?
No, but this is years ago.
Darren Mattox, excellent. UConn.
No. That talk 20 something years ago. Years ago, better. 20 something years, better. And the man give me a printout, and him say, yo, all you need is 10 yards. 10 yards of space.
10 yards.
And you will be fit. Hey. After 10 minutes of them running there? No, sir. And I can tell, and Cameron highlighted it. It's very difficult for the women because they have to live their life and they're not getting paid. So you can't act like a professional athlete and be a civilian at the same time. It's difficult for them. But somebody need to invest because the league, there's something there, There's something there. The Reggae Girls is a hot commodity. They will be a hot commodity at least for the next 4 years. Do you need to capitalize on this little good vibe or good hype? Get tech. It won't. I promise. I would tell. They just need to hire, not me, because I may not have that credential, but hire a real fitness coach, and that fitness coach will tell them guarantee 3 months, three
And
months of
in,
dedicated time.
instant correction, Darren Mattax did not play at UConn. He played at Akron,
Oh,
University
Akron,
of
yeah.
Demani
With the
Ralph.
Ohio.
Demani Ralph played at UConn.
No, none of them on there. None of them on there.
Demani,
I think Chris went to you. I think my brother went to you. I think. But and the
let me see how
brother,
many times I can be wrong. Didn't Demani Ralph play at UConn? After 2 years, Ralph left the University of Connecticut where he continued to dub. Yeah, man. Demani Ralph
yeah.
did play at UConn. So thinking about. Yeah. So you definitely give the coaches of the JWPL the playbook, the script, how to defeat Fraser's Whip. Said yesterday in a chat, one of the funniest things to me is reading the chats during games. And said Fraser's, there was a fan of Fraser's Whip who keeps posting, whip them, Fraser, whip them. I mean, yeah, Fraser's Whip Invitational, why it is necessary. Whip them, Fraser, whip them. Just spam the shot with whip them, Fraser. I mean, I say, and we don't want to take anything from Fraser's Whip. I have to give them credit because they have been the standard bearer in the league. Yes, they can improve, but until somebody knocks them off, know them off, set the bar and just improve themselves, And I'm sure Fraser's Whip is trying to achieve that.
Yep.
Junior, we need to wrap up a show a long time with there and we're going to touch certain things. We have to go home quickly. Yard Ballers report. People are going to say, yo, on a just treat Yard Ballers report. So, but let's head over to quick hits. Some news coming out of, let's get this. The under-20 team is scheduled to play 2 friendly games. U20 Reggae Boys under-20 team scheduled to play 2 friendly games in Fort Lauderdale. Junior, you may have to make a chart. June 6th and 7th. They will play Haiti's under-20 team as they get ready for the U20 championship in July and August, looking to book a place in the World Cup. So, CASA finals and City of Lauderdale. Saturday, June 6, 2026, Family and Youth Activity Clinic. Vice Mayor Richard Campbell is putting on this event at 9:15 p.m. Jamaica U20 team versus Haiti's U20 team. It should be a good one, Junior. And then on the 7th, so that's on the 6th, and then on the 7th, Jamaica U20 will play Miami United. Good start of build-up games for the young Reggae Boys, Junior.
Yeah. And definitely good, well-needed games. And, just want to youth them do them thing, man.
Yeah. All right, continue Yard Ballers report, and quickly we're going through it. The Reggae Girls secured 2 friendly games also against Panama. Reggae Girls will take on Panama on June 5th and June 8th at the Rommel Fernandez Stadium in Panama City. Reggae Girls getting ready for the CONCACAF W Championship later this year in November. They will play against Panama, of course, Marta Cox and Panama. As Reggae Girls will be playing Costa Rica in CONCACAF Double Championship. So, Junior, Super Falcons fans of Nigeria over the Facebook group said, yo, why Reggae Girls don't play the Falcons? So, couldn't have that game on too, right? The more games, the better. Play Nigeria, play Panama, play everybody. And
Play
make sure
Nigeria
you beat
where?
Costa Rica. I don't care.
Play Nigeria where?
Don't worry yourself, man. Don't worry yourself. We'll figure out a way.
But if you want to talk about scamming organization,
those are the views of Junior, not bad.
those are the views of world football. The two scamming organizations putting a game together. No, sir.
But Reggae Girls, June 5th and June 8th, Romel Fernandez Stadium in Panama. If you're in Panama, forward, cut through and support the Reggae Girls. Support them fully loaded, you know. Junior, continue our yard ballers roundup. Man City ladies officially became champions of the Women's Super League. Bunny Shaw won the Golden Boot. Third consecutive Golden Boot. First player to score 20 plus goals in 3 seasons in this league. Junior.
And we'll be leaving for free.
And we'll be leaving for free. Providing that things don't change.
Yeah.
Providing that things don't change. There was a huge celebration. Bunny Shaw did score again yesterday. A lot of, if you check out her Instagram, rightfully so, she's celebrating. She's happy with our trophy. Of course, Man City last won the Women's Super League 10 years ago. So, Bunny Shaw, big up yourself. And, congrats to the ladies of Man City. BM says after Panama, Jamaica should play El Salvador in the next window. Since we're playing Costa Rica, just play Central American teams. Yep, I agree fully.
Yep.
Keep playing those teams. Or play Guatemala. I thought Guatemala was competitive with Jamaica in that game where they ended 3-2.
That's another good call too.
Yeah, man. While Bunny Shaw and Reggae Girl Bunny Shaw and Man City celebrated the Women's Super League title and Bunny's Golden Boot, my ball over so Leicester City's own Chantel Swaby Jr. steering down relegation in the Women's Super League.
Did Leicester City use Chantel Swaby in the right formation to give her a chance to win?
By Chantel Swaby and Leicester City steering down relegation. They finished last in the table. They will play Charlton in a playoff. Charlton from Women's Super League 2 to have a chance to be back in the Women's Super League next year. So, Chantel Swaby, warm up yourself because you have to do some work for defeat Charlton. But I mean, we just have to call it what it is. Leicester City and Chantel Swaby just they're not ready for the video light. They have not been up to it for in this league, and so but Chantel, go and do your work.
Yep.
And BM says, big up Kaim Paris. He won the Azerbaijan League and Cup double. Hopefully Paris makes a big move this summer. Big up Kaim Paris. Big up yourself. Big up. Congrats, family. Yard Ballers report. One again, final news here. Yes, RFM, not ESPN. RFM is reporting, Junior, that the brother of Bailey Kadamatari, Kalen Kadamatari, has been drafted into the Reggae Boys squad for the Unity Cup, Junior. 16-year-old Kalen Kadamatari. I saw him pronouncing him. The younger brother of Bailey Kadamatari is reportedly set to be included in the Reggae Boys squad for the upcoming Unity Cup tournament later this month in England. The teenager, who was signed by Man City from Sheffield United last year for £1.5 million, is among the 3 new faces reportedly named in the Reggae Boys squad that will face India in the Unity Cup semi-final on May 27th. Also reportedly included in the 24-man squad is 22-year-old wingback Courtney Clark of League Two side Walsall, and with Nicholas Simmons, who was drafted by FC Dallas in the MLS draft. 6 local-based players included Tafari Chambers, Raheem Edwards, Christopher Ainsworth, Nikolai Fuller, Dwight Merrick, and Nikai Ellis. Junior, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, India, Jamaica. Unity Cup.
I have no problem. I have no problem with capping Kalen right now. If you're bringing me in, cap him. Currently he's a Scottish under 17 international. He's a current Scottish under 17 international.
What are you saying? The Reggae Boys now the Kadamatari side?
Well,
family side.
You know, he's good. This youth is good enough to be at the Man City youth team.
Well, I guess it checks the box. Rudolph Speed said he
forget about
who play in leagues.
Forget about Rudolph Speed. I'm more thinking of more along Omari Hutchinson line, BM's favorite Omari Hutchinson line of conversation, and where this can trend for Jamaica, because we're talking future now. That's why I have to forget about Rudolph Speed. When Kalen Kadamatari is ready to really represent for Jamaica, Rudolph Speed will be a part of the history of Jamaican football. I'm talking, this is probably, he's 16 now, we're talking probably 5-6 years from now. So if this youth, forget about Bailey as well. If this youth can be that good of a talent, cap him. That's what these games are for. Cap him.
But who said he will be capped? You just get named in a squad and go around bench.
But let's say the youth, that would be, I don't know. I would really hate 6 years from now, we're saying Kalen Kadamatari for Scotland, leading Scotland to the World Cup, and be like, why that so familiar? Why Kalen? Why that's so like Brown Man? A Brown Man brother? Rotted a Brown Man brother. Because it could be like another boy thing. Another boy thing. Jerome and Kevin Prince boy thing. One play for Germany, one play for Ghana. Ghana? Yeah, Ghana.
Yeah, man, you're right.
So if this you would have to cap him. I'm all for capping him.
Unity Cup against India coming up. Watch along loading.
Yep.
Watch along loading. Yo, I have nothing to say more about the Reggae Boys. I ain't
that man. Sure, they're long to that.
I don't. Yeah, we had enough. People, we had enough. Make sure you send a subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Subscribe if this is the content that you like, and I don't know. Big up to all of you, the Reggae Boys, YouTubers and vloggers out there. Big up on yourself. Big up to themselves. Cranky, big up. MG Sports, big up. Elite Sports, Ryan, big up all of them. Subscribe, check them out. Them you there do some good work. And Talawa TV, big up Crystal, she do some good work. Subscribe to them channel. Junior, before we go my we have to check out this score in the Jamaican Premier League. 0-0. Still Cavalier, I guess part the bus at work for speed.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wednesday again, BM says Europa League final next. Alright, see the lineup itself, football family. We're seeing on Wednesday again. And then next weekend.
Final show next week.
Final show, and then we pivot to
Watch along summer.
Watch along and summer schedule. Yo, have a wonderful rest of the Sunday. Have a wonderful week, family. See you on Wednesday for Ball Chat halftime show. recap all things sports news in general, World Cup, cricket, track and field. Sharika Jackson was excellent yesterday. More things to talk about. By the way, that report regarding Kalen Kadamatari was by Raja Housefall over at RFM. I want to give credit. Make sure so we acknowledge the author of the article. Yeah.
Later.
That gone